The Jurassic World franchise is hilarious to me.
It's pretty cool to actually have a few little extras here as far as 3 different locusts that they've given us, and the sculpts of those are quite nice overall.
You're sure there's nobody else who can fly a helicopter?
We don't need anyone else.
A few moments later.
And in anticipation for Jurassic World Afterbirth, I thought we should talk about the first 3 Jurassic World movies. My big issue with the Jurassic World movies are they are essentially B-grade movies, but not even fun B-grade movies that are intentionally in on the joke like The Meg and The Meg 2.
See you later, chum.
These are B-grade movies the same way Skyscraper is. You know, it's trying to be a good film and it's falling flat on its face. But the thing is, they are using an intellectual property. They are part of a franchise that started off absolutely incredible. The original Jurassic Park is not a movie that is overhyped or people just have rose-colored glasses. That is a great film about the dangers of messing with nature. The practical effects are fantastic and stunning. Even to this day, you watch it and there is still something simultaneously beautiful and horrific around these dinosaurs. Whereas you compare it to these modern Jurassic World movies, and I know what the issue is. They are making these dinosaurs like Marvel characters.
We need more teeth.
All right, you've got Blue, who is part of the Avengers team. You've got the T-Rex, who is kind of like choosing his allegiance. And then you've got whatever hybrid dinosaur the movies make up for that movie being like the Thanos or the Loki. In that original movie, there's a sense of scale. There's a sense of like, oh my God, look at these dinosaurs and how small we feel in their shadow. Whereas you watch these new ones and Owen Thunderguns, Action Man Owen is just sitting there being like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, guys, chill out, all right? Let's take a breather, Raptors. Let's just stop right here and have a few beers and kick back. On top of that, not only are the Raptors trained, because that's kind of the buy-in for the first movie, but the T-Rex isn't just part of nature, right? The T-Rex isn't just some monster that occasionally eats smaller monsters and that happens to help the people escape. The T-Rex is something they like summon.
We need more teeth.
In each movie, they're like, yo, call in the big guns. And then the T-Rex comes out and just knows not to eat the people and stop the kind of apex predator of the movie. They drive me nuts. And on top of that, the hard thing is each movie, including the third, has incredible things I like, all right? So what we're going to do is I'm going to grant Owen branches, all right? A play on olive branches. I know, very, very funny from me. But we're going to grant Owen branches for each of these films, all right? And then we're going to get into the worst parts, the most unhinged moments of each of these films. Now, when I think of these movies, particularly Jurassic World 2 or 3, I picture like a struggling family, you know? I think of a married couple on the brink of divorce, all right? This father, he's losing his hair from stress. His 3 kids kind of hate him because he hasn't been able to give them the life they deserve, you know? And he goes, you know what, kids? I've scrounged up enough money to take us all to a movie this weekend, all right? Honey, remember when we saw the first Jurassic Park in the drive-in, you know? Maybe that's how we had our first child, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. And he tries to bring the family together, you know? He scrapes through the spare $87 left. He even gets the family a bunch of snacks. He goes without, you know? He doesn't have any snacks himself. And they sit down for Jurassic World Dominion. And by the end of the movie, the wife has finalized the divorce and the 3 kids fucking hate him for putting them through that. That's how that is the legacy of these movies. It's meant to be a fun family film, and it's just the worst shit you've ever seen. Circling back to the Marvelization of this franchise, not only are the dinosaurs framed as like MCU heroes and villains, but even the main characters are kind of like superheroes, you know? Action Man Owen survives just incomprehensible action stakes. He's got no character development, but on top of that, they act like 3 main characters teaming up to do the famous Owen, whoa, whoa, whoa. They act like that's like the equivalent of Captain America picking up Thor's hammer, and it just isn't.
Hey!
Grant?
And I think the thing that sums up this franchise is this comment I saw in another video a while ago where someone was talking about the fact that a coworker asked them what they were listening to on their break, and he said, "I'm listening to the audiobook of Jurassic Park." And they went, "Really? You're listening to that? That's like it's a kid's movie, isn't it?" And it makes you realize that these dumb, schlocky movies have completely tanked the reputation of what was a promising science fiction family adventure series, you know, into something that's overall dumb, silly, and incomprehensible at times. Nothing sums this up better than the clips from the stars of the second Jurassic World movie, Fallen Kingdom, talking about the dinos. Like, look at this shit.
This Jurassic World, you will see more dinosaurs than you've ever seen in all the other Jurassic movies combined.
We're gonna have Blue.
We have the Mosasaurus. We have the T-Rex.
We're literally blowing up the island.
We have a Baryonyx in this movie. We have a Carnotaurus.
The Carnotaurus fights the Sinoceratops.
We hope that people come out with their imaginations expanded of what a Jurassic Park movie can be.
We have a brand new genetically modified dinosaur called the Indoraptor.
It's a psychopathic, murderous beast.
We have a Stygimoloch.
We just all love the Stygimoloch.
This is gonna be awesome.
Let's talk about the strangest and most unhinged moments of the first Jurassic World movie, but before we do, I just want to extend my Owen branches. So the first one is, I do like the glass ball scene, alright? It is dumb, schlocky spectacle, but it's dumb, schlocky spectacle done well. The basic setup here is that the two kid characters that no one cares about are in this little glass orb that takes them on like a tour of a dino park, and things go wrong, alright? There's this scary giant T-Rex hybrid thingy. Dominus Rex or something is running around trying to eat them while other dinosaurs with the big things on their tails are slapping them about. It's a great sequence and it keeps getting better. The dino tries to eat the orb in one gulp. It's exciting. It's cool. It is dumb, but it's like elevated, well-made, dumb schlock, in my opinion. The movie has a lot of good death scenes, in my opinion. If you can't capture the tone of Jurassic Park, don't try. And I think this one instead goes for like, oorah, holy shit, laughing out of shock moments. And I think a lot of them land. I really like the one where the guy's just sitting there looking at Action Man Owen under the car and gets scooped up by a dinosaur. I also love the one where this random woman who like kind of just works for the company, who hasn't even done anything that bad, is given this relentlessly cruel death. I've seen people say it's unnecessarily cruel. I kind of disagree. I think it's horrifying and simultaneously like shockingly almost gasp worthy. There's a bit of dark humor there, but I've seen people kind of be like, this was unnecessary. And to me, it's one of the few things that jumps out from this movie because it actually shows the horror of these dinosaurs. It's not framing them as like cool Marvel moments. It's like, oh shit, like this is awful. And I also love the kind of like whoop siren as these like flying dinosaurs come for the crowd of people. The issue is, this is kind of dissolved. My tension in this moment is dissolved by the fact that like these dinosaurs are like hybrids that have T-Rex heads. It looks fucking ridiculous. Whose idea was this? And I know this first movie, the whole kind of meta commentary about it is that it's in kind of conversation with itself. You know, this first Jurassic World movie is constantly talking about how like the in-universe theme park has to be bigger and better and they need to top themselves even if it seems stupid, you know, and it is clearly a commentary on these movies in general. But the issue is, even though it is self-aware, even though it is conscious of its own existence and is poking fun at itself, it then leans into this dumb schlock and does it poorly. Specifically the ending, right? Where Owen is sitting there, the whole team is sitting there and they're like, what are we going to do? There's a T-Rex over there, but he's not as healthy as before. And oh my God, the Adonomus Rex is coming for us. What do we do? And then like some weird, again, Marvel moment, Blue comes out of the corner and goes, "Meow," and runs out in slow motion to save the day. I can't stand it. I really don't like it. It's just dumb, silly spectacle. All right, so let's just go through the movie and I'll talk about the unhinged moments that make me laugh. So 22 years after the events of Jurassic Park, the dream has come true. A fully functioning dinosaur theme park. Jurassic World has opened on Isla Nublar. We meet Claire, the operations manager. She's laser focused on the park's success, right? So she's like, we need to maximize profits. I don't care if these dinosaurs have feelings. That's her character arc, right? She's like the evil corporate lady who then learns that like animals have feelings. Meanwhile, Navy animal behaviorist Owen Grady is busy training velociraptors like they're essentially dangerous but loyal hunting dogs. In an effort to boost park attendance, geneticists create a new hybrid, the Indominus Rex, bigger, smarter, and more unpredictable than anything before. Unhinged moment number 1 is Jimmy Fallon showing up as like the kind of safety guide for this like little glass ball tour. He's the worst talk show host we have at the moment, so it's disappointing they got him of all people. Next, we have Owen using the raptor hand gesture for the first time. It's a now iconic hand pose. Owen tames wild raptors by raising his palm like he's calming down a puppy. And the whole laboratory just rolls with it. They're like, sick, yep, that's perfect. That's all we need. Owen and his hand. Then we get to maybe the dumbest stuff of the whole franchise, and they bring this up in every single one. It's this military guy or something. What's his name? His name is Hoskins, all right? He's like the head of security there, and he genuinely believes raptors would make effective military weapons. He brings this up constantly, and it's so bizarre. Now, later on, they explain how this would be executed, but it's just crazy. He's sitting there, and he's like, you know what? Forget nukes. Forget drones, forget snipers, forget all the incredible military tech we have. We need uncontrollable velociraptors. Yeah. And it's just too stupid. The movie expects you to somewhat take this seriously. He is a villain. He's a villainous presence in this movie, and it's absurd. Later on in the movie, there's this moment when Claire is like, we have a T-Rex. And then she says, like, we need more teeth or something. I think it's in this one. And she's running in heels away from the T-Rex. Now, the heels thing is intentional, all right? Don't get it twisted. This isn't like a goof. This isn't a mistake. They clearly went, okay, this is like a cool / funny moment. I don't mind the heels, all right? Out of this movie's problems, this is the least of my problems. It's setting the T-Rex free, which hasn't even been trained like the Velociraptors, even though I found that stupid. It's setting the T-Rex free to take on the Indominus Rex. It's just too, like, fan servicey, and like that is not what was being communicated in the first Jurassic Park in that scene where the T-Rex accidentally kind of coincidentally helps them. It's silly and stupid, and I don't like it. Now, brief intermission before we move on to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Look at the legacy of these movies, all right? Look at these ridiculous toys. Look at this creature that has been made for Jurassic World Afterbirth. Look at how scary it is. Look at what happens when I press the button. Just embarrassing slop, right? Anyways, moving on to Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. Now, I need to extend my Owen branches. So first off, I love that in this movie, in the opening, now this is filmed by a guy who I think has a background in horror, and I like the fact that they are framing the dinosaurs as horrific again in moments. They don't do it the whole movie, but the opening, the lightning strikes with the dinosaur in the background being lit up in the background while sneaking up on the guy, genuinely great. I also love the opening section here where the water dinosaur is jumping out of the ocean. It's cool. I like it. I like the opening. I like how scary it is. I like how everything goes wrong. On top of that, the trailer for this movie has incredible sound design. I didn't even like these movies. I hadn't seen the first one. I was in IMAX. I think it was for a Nolan movie or something, but I remember I was looking at the screen and they were playing the trailer for Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. And there's this moment where the T-Rex eats another dinosaur and roars as a volcano is going off in the background. I'm like, this is framing the dinosaurs the way they should have been framed in the first one. This is incredible. It's majestic. The sound is incredible. The visuals look stunning. Owen looks small in contrast to this dino. It's great. It's great. And in the movie, that moment doesn't land nearly as hard. The music isn't as epic. It's just not as done. Whoever edited that trailer needs a fucking raise. I love the entire rescue and the chase scene. So the basic setup for this movie is that the island of Isla Nublar, the one with all the dinosaurs on it from the first one that's been abandoned, has a volcano. It's active. It's going to explode, killing all the dinosaurs. And there's a big debate around, should we just let the dinosaurs die and leave them there? Which is an interesting philosophical debate. I actually like what it's setting up here. And then, of course, the only man who's there who can do it is Owen. So Owen teams up back with Claire, the redhead lady from the first one, and they go over to the island. By the way, this has been organized by some clearly evil dude who clearly wants to get his hands on Blue the Velociraptor, who was like the Marvel hero Velociraptor from the first one. So Owen goes over, they go over, and they're rescuing the dinosaurs, and this shit is fantastic. There's so many good sections here too. Not only is the volcano exploding as they're running down the hill with dinosaurs that would usually eat them, but they're just like trying to get off the thing. It's all breathtaking. Good visual effects, good cinematography, good pacing, a good set piece. And it extends. It goes for a while. You have the bit where they're behind the ball and the T-Rex eats the other scary dinosaur that I mentioned before and roars with the volcano in the background. And then you have the section where the ball falls off the cliff while they're drowning and dinosaurs are falling to their side and Owen's like trying to get them out. It's all kind of good. Yes, it's a far cry from the original Jurassic Park, but if you're going to do over-the-top bombastic action, this is breathtaking. This is really good stuff. It starts off so promising, in my opinion. On top of that, I even like the scene where Owen is tranquilized by the evil military men and is kind of in a state of paralysis and has to escape lava. It's a funny, well done, well executed scene, even if the lava looks like CGI slop. And the reason I say all this, guys, the reason I say all of this is because from there, the movie completely fucking falls apart. The entire movie is essentially just this extended, boring, bloated mess where by Deus Ex Machina, by plot contrivance, the dinosaurs get back to Earth, all right? They get back to the mainland, back to like humanity, right? And in my opinion, what the movie should have done is the last half of this movie, all right? The first half should have been that volcano stuff. The last half of the movie should have been dinosaurs tearing shit up, tearing the city up in the fucking city amongst humans, right? It should have been dinosaurs coming back to the city and tearing shit up. Dinosaurs in theme parks, dinosaurs in movie theaters. Just go off with it, you know, go full tilt. But instead, they kind of blue balls you the whole movie. And instead, it's this like extended evil auction sequence where they're basically kind of illegally selling dinosaurs to the highest bidder. And of course, the military wants dinosaurs, like evil military people want dinosaurs. But this is where it gets stupider because now they explain the weaponized Velociraptor technology. And the idea here is that you will point a laser, you'll have a gun with like a literal laser pointer. And you'll point the laser pointer of a gun, which by the way shoots bullets where that laser would be. But no, instead what you do is you still need to have a gun, you point the laser at someone, click a little button, and that it sets off a noise frequency, so then a Velociraptor will charge where the laser is. And they demonstrate this on some random dude in the audience. It's insane. So you spend literally what feels like an eternity at this auction sequence just to get to yet another dumb, schlocky ending, marvelized dinosaur action. Let's go through some of the strangest moments of this movie. I forgot to mention, there is this clone daughter. Oh my God. So in this movie, there is a massive retcon where they set up that the old guy from the first movie, I think his name was John Hammond, who by the way was such a great character. Like, yes, he accidentally made like a park that goes wrong, but like you could tell he had earnest intentions and he did care and he was naive and arrogant and ignorant. But regardless, in this one, turns out he had a best buddy played by Ian Cromwell, and he seemingly has this like kind of granddaughter hanging around, and basically throughout the movie they reveal to you that she's actually a clone. All right, she's like a full-blown clone. She doesn't have a mother. She is a clone of an older woman, and she's growing into that older woman. And I do like how this is revealed, and I actually think there's a good idea here, just not in a dumb Jurassic World movie. Like, this movie isn't an Alex Garland film. This isn't Annihilation or Ex Machina. This is a dumb dinosaur movie. And I actually think the idea of having a clone child reckon with its humanity amongst these dinosaurs is a cool idea. But you don't have the chops. You don't have the sauce to pull this off. It does not work at all. It all is there for this very contrived moment where all the dinosaurs are essentially in this pit, right? Where they could be killed, or they're in this garage where they could be killed. And the main character's like, do we let them go or do we keep them here? And then the clone daughter says earnestly, they're alive, like me, and sets them free. It's just, come on, what are we doing?
They're alive, like me.
You also have this moment where this like new hybrid Velociraptor is essentially framed as Freddy Krueger, which I actually like. I like the cinematography here. I like what they're going for. I like framing them as monsters again. But then this movie just ends with yet another ridiculous face-off where, you know, they use the little like sound frequency thing, and then Owen slides under an Endoraptor, and then Blue the Velociraptor attacks the Endoraptor and somehow survives by some miracle and kills the Endoraptor. It's just ridiculous. But we get an ending that is genuinely fantastic. It's what I wanted, all right? The dinosaurs are in the wild. You have a T-Rex going in the zoo, going up against a lion, all right, for who's king of the jungle. You have this incredible shot of the big, giant, swimmy shark monster going after a surfer. It's cool, dumb schlock. I'm like here for it. I'm like, here we go. Why wasn't this the whole movie? And then the movie ends leaving you with blue balls. It's awful. All right, next we have Jurassic World Dominion. The only olive branch I can give here is that we get to see some dinosaurs in the real world. I really like the intro where there's like news footage and they're communicating to us that dinosaurs are here. This should have been the whole movie. All right. It's like people crashing cars into dinosaurs. There's in an extended cut. This movie has the goal. has the audacity to have a director's cut, which I tried to start, and then as the movie went on, I'm like, I'm not watching this for 3 hours. 2 hours 40 is much better. So it's much better for me. This is not Midsommar, right? You have not earned this. So I went back to the original cut, but regardless, you get this awesome sequence at the start where a T-Rex like fucks up a drive-in theater, but that's not in the original cut. It's some of the best stuff in the movie. This is a mess, by the way. This movie is a mess. They do the whole like legacy sequel thing where they bring back characters for no good reason. They bring back characters for this plot that they don't need to be there, right? Instead of focusing on dinosaurs in the real world, this movie instead turns its focus to like robot evil locusts. All right, there's essentially like a step in for Apple and a step in for Tim Cook and Steve Jobs, and he's designed these locusts to eat the food supply. He's also obsessed with curing cancer, and he's obsessed with dinosaurs. It's ridiculous. Who wants this? Everyone just wanted, from the end of the second one, which was a disappointing movie, everyone wanted dinosaurs fucking shit up. That's all people wanted, and this movie went, nah, evil robot locusts. Fuck yeah. All right, my issues with this movie can be summed up with one sentence. At a certain point, the flying dinos attack a plane and you realize flying government-controlled dinos are trying to kill our main characters, one of which is a clone, in order to stop evil locusts controlled by Steve Jobs, who is also trying to cure cancer. All right, first weird moment, we're introduced to this character called Kayla. She says at one point that she left the Air Force for moral reasons, and then she immediately joins a mission involving kidnapping clones and illegal dinosaur smuggling. There's also this subplot around Maisie's DNA. This is the clone daughter. She is the key to solving the whole GMO locust. The whole issue here is like humanity's survival depends on the genome of a teenage clone, and it's like dinosaurs are now a subplot in this Jurassic World movie. What the fuck are we doing? Now, a moment I do like, we have this incredible escape scene with Claire where she like parachutes out and then has to submerge herself in water not to be eaten by a dino. Just a decent sequence. Owen uses the hand gesture on dinosaurs that aren't velociraptors throughout the movie, and it drives me nuts. Now, there is a sequence in here that almost gives you what you want. All right, for some reason, there's this scene where they go down to like this black market where they're selling a bunch of dinos in what looks like a Star Wars set. And then they get up and there's this whole chase sequence, right, where Claire's being chased by the targeted velociraptors and she's jumping from building to building. That's dumb, that's silly, whatever. But there's this moment where Owen is on the motorbike and he's going through the town and there are velociraptors chasing him behind him. And he peels out round a corner and you see these giant T-Rexes in the middle of the city, you know, eating people and causing chaos. And it's a great reveal shot. It's awesome. It's dumb, it's stupid, but at this point my brain had left the building. At least give me dumb spectacle like that. But we get it for like 37 seconds and then we're back to the fucking locusts. Anyways, they bring back the legacy characters in the end sequence. It's clearly meant to be this Avengers moment where like 3 of the main characters do the whole Owen Grady hand gesture, but it's like Jeff Goldblum sleepwalking through this movie, and Sam Neill and Laura Dern. I mean, Laura Dern literally just won an Academy Award recently, and now she's here in Jurassic World Dominion. And Sam Neill just has no clue what the fuck is going on. He's like, I guess I'll do this. He even talks about this. There's an interview clip of him talking about the fact that, like, you know, he took off his glasses in the first one, and now every character ever has to do the whole glasses thing. I completely get what he's saying. So here he looks like he's sleepwalking. He's confused. The movie, of course, ends with like T-Rex versus the Giganosaurus Rex. I'm not kidding. All right. So in the first one, it was the Indominus Rex. In the second one, it was the Indoraptor. And in this one, it's the Giganosaurus, the Giganosaurus. It's a ridiculous name. The Gigachosaurus Rex. What is it? Anyways, it's an absurd movie. They're all schlocky, dumb, silly. I mean, Owen as a character is so undercooked, underdeveloped. I don't like Chris Pratt's performance in this movie, in any of these movies, but especially in this third one, he just basically gives up. On top of that, there's this plotline in the third one that's revealed that not only is Maisie like a clone, but she's been reproduced asexually. They set this up in, I think, the first Jurassic Park, but definitely in these Jurassic World movies, that these dinosaurs can reproduce asexually. An idea that I like, right? It's an accident. It's a mistake. It was in Jurassic Park, right? Because they realized the velociraptors are breeding, even though they made them all female. It's a cool idea, but basically what happens is we find out that somehow the clone was reproduced asexually. Now, this is something that even the fandom hasn't been able to properly figure out. People are very confused on what it's trying to say here. They say that the mum or the person that originated this clone is like, has this weird thing going on with her DNA or something, but it's never actually properly explained. They just hint at this idea that she was reproduced asexually. They want to lead away from this direct clone idea they set up in the second one, so they're kind of alternating it slightly. And I ask, to what end? what family went and saw Jurassic World Dominion and left fulfilled? Like, how was the car ride home, you know? Because I think it would have been absolutely brutal. Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I also do memberships for this channel, both on Patreon and YouTube memberships, where every 2 weeks I do a podcast, talk about everything I watched in a given month. Shows, movies, any books, anything else, but mainly shows and movies.